Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing you some more fun-free drumming ideas. For this week's lesson we've got a cool sort of intermediate hip-hop style groove. We've got a nice little ostinato on the hi-hat going 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Then underneath that we've got a fairly sort of standard kick and snare pattern with a few ghost notes chucked in there for a bit of, you know, a bit of texture. So if you like what you saw in the intro and you want to give this one a crack, stick around and I'll break it down. Here we go. All right, so if we have a look at the groove without the snazzy hi-hats, and then I'll show you how we can sort of work up to playing it with them. So what we've got is 8th notes on a hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and beat 1 we've got 1 E and. Okay, so kick, snare, kick, little ghosty with the left, so 1 E and. For beat 2 we've got loud backbeat, 2, and then we're gonna go and so if we go all the way up to there, 1 E and 2 and couple of little ghosties there. Beat 3 we've got 3 ghosty and for beat the and a beat 3. And then that's it for beat 3, and then for beat 4 we've got 4 E and There's an optional kick on the E of beat 4, so you can go 4 and or 4 E and So if I just get that groove going, I don't want to spend too much time on it. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and Right, so let's just speed it up a little bit so we know what we're dealing with, and then we'll chuck on the... No, we got there now. Here we go. A little bit quicker. Done. All right, so now we've got like the basic groove down. We know what the kicks and the snares are doing. We're now going to add this nasty little ostinato, which is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, etc. Notice I'm emphasizing beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4, and then the ands and the us I'm playing a little bit softer. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So a bit more of a flick of the wrist on each beat, and you'll sort of get used to it, and it helps you sort of like settle yourself with the pulse. So there's a couple of ways you can go about it. You can get the sort of kick and snare drum pattern and try and play it all as one and just layer this idea on top. I've always struggled with that. So what we're going to try and do now is just take beats 1 and 2, then add beat 3 and add beat 4, just so we can learn where everything's going to sort of fall together. So whether you're going to be playing like a ghost note and a hi-hat together, sometimes you're going to have kicks or snare drums falling in between this hi-hat pattern. So it's worth just sort of breaking down each beat, learning where everything fits in, and then adding the next bit, then the next bit, then the next bit. So if we start off with beat 1, what we've got, obviously the hi-hat pattern is 1 and We've got a little ghosty on E, so we get this 1 E and and we've got bass drums on the beat 1 and then the and a beat 1, so we get this 1 E and Now if we make this a little bit easy for ourselves so we can put it in some sort of flow, if we play the backbeat of beat 2, so 1 E and 2, and then we play the remaining quarter notes. So you get this 1 E and 2, 3, 4, and again 1 E and 2, 3, 4, and again 1 E and 2, 3, 4, and if you want to speed it up, 3, 4, 1 E and 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2, 3, 4. And it actually sounds pretty sweet just like that. The next thing we're going to do, all we've got to do, we've got 2 snare drums on the and the of beat 2. So they're going to line up exactly with the hi-hat. So when you get to beat 2, you get this 2 and Okay, so if we keep the quarter notes going with the hi-hat afterwards, we're going to get this 1 E and 2 and 3, 4, 1 E and 2 and 3, 4. A little bit tricky. 1 E and 2 and 3, 4. Did I play that right? 1 E and 2 and 3, 4. A little bit quicker. 1 E and 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and 2 and 3. Okay, so let's see if we can now add beat 3. Beat 3, we've got 3 and with the hi-hat. In fact, it's almost the same as beat 1, just minus that kick drum on beat 3 itself. So we're going to get this 3 E and 3 E and if we add beat 4 of the snare drum, 3 E and 4, 3 E and 4. And in fact, if we play beat 4 without the kick on the E, that's the same as beat 2. So beat 3 and beat 4 are fairly similar to beat 1 and 2. 3 E and 4 and In fact, let's just try and add it all together. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. The only sort of accent on the hi-hat you've got to worry about the most is probably that one on beat 3, because you've got no bass drums or snare drums to sort of help emphasise it. So if you're going to focus on getting one note particularly loud on the hi-hat, make it beat 3. 1 E and a 2 and a, that was wrong. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. Struggling to play this one slowly. So what I'll do, if I just sort of play at a couple of different speeds, give you that view over there, and then we'll slap in that little kick drum on the E of beat 4. Here we go. Nice and slow. And a bit faster. Okay, so what we're going to try and do now is add that bass drum on the E of beat 4. Again, because it's on the E, that's the one note missing from our little hi-hat ostinato. It's going to sort of fall in between the hi-hats and be played just on its own. So we get 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So another little thing you can do is just open the hi-hat on the and of beat 1 as well. That sounds pretty cool. It's not too strenuous getting it in there. It just sort of fits in quite easily without making it much more difficult. Sometimes it sounds quite nice maybe just to leave the the of beat 1 on that hi-hat. So you just go. So I sort of cheat a little bit with the ostinato, but you can do it either or. Want to let that hi-hat breathe a tiny bit more. So what I'll do now, if we just get the groove going, I've pretty much broken down every single part of it. Just sort of take some of those ideas, mix it up. So sometimes I'll have the bass drum on the E of beat 4, sometimes I'll put in that little open hi-hat, and then sometimes I won't do any of those things. But that's pretty much it. So I'll just play this a few more different speeds, and then I'll come and say goodbye. All right, here we go. Okay guys, so there it is. Thank you very much for watching. I'd highly recommend the sheet music for this lesson, which you can go and download from onlinedrummer.com completely for free. There's a link in the description below. Also down there you'll find links to my Patreon page if you want to be an absolute star and help support what I'm doing. Down there you'll also find links to Facebook and Twitter if you want to come and say hello. So until next time, take care, keep drumming, and I'll see you next Thursday for some more fun-free drumming ideas. See you later.